That was an absolute tactical masterclass, and every player from 1 to 11 was absolutely phenomenal. This is your instant reaction to Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 0.
Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with an instant reaction as I said there, Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 0. And yes, we beat Manchester City at Villa Park again. And it was an absolute tactical masterclass in defensive setup, in organisation, in closing down, in putting our bodies on the line, and in being clinical at the right time and threatening in the right moments. That was just a total control performance, limiting Manchester City to hardly any chances, and every player out on that pitch, including the substitutes that came on, stuck to their task, did their job, and worked hard for the badge. And it was just a fantastic performance. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, help us on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and get your comments in. I'm sure we are going to be flooded with comments, your thoughts, your man of the match, just everything to do with that game was just absolutely fantastic. What a performance it was from Aston Villa. And we started the game really well, keeping defensively organised. We wanted to shut down those spaces in the middle. We wanted to make sure that we were forcing Manchester City to go wide, and then we could match them 1v1 with our fullbacks. And Luca Dean and Matty Cash were excellent with their defensive setup and their 1v1 defending, just absolutely brilliant. And just it's hard for me to explain how good our defensive setup was. Every single player stuck to their task. As I said, Cash and Dino 1v1 defending, Ezri Konsa and Pau Torres marshalling Erling Haaland. He had one chance, he had one opportunity, really good opportunity in the first half, and that was it. He had a couple of headers in the second half, but everything was screened. The communication between Konsa and Pau Torres was just unbelievable. The reading of the passes, the reading of the runs was just on point for the whole game, protecting Emi Martinez at all costs, and Martinez claimed things when he needed to. And as I say, made one really good save against Erling Haaland when he read what he was going to do. But apart from that, Manchester City really had nothing to offer because we shut everything down. And then you go to the midfield in front of them, Boubacar Kamara and Amadou Onana, and we'll talk more about him later, but stuck to their task, grew into the game. City actually started the game quite well, and then Villa gradually grew into the game and started to get the ball to Rodgers, started to get the ball to Buendia, and it was from the Aston Villa corner from a play down the left-hand side that Matheus Nunes just got just in front of Luca Dean before he could put the cross in, and then a well-worked cross. I'm not sure if it was specifically meant, but it was a pass from Buendia. I think it might have meant to go to Morgan Rodgers, but he didn't get the control. Thankfully, it goes to Cash on the edge of the box. He cuts inside on his left foot, sees where Donnarumma is slightly out of position, and strikes across the ball and into the opposite corner, and he's got absolutely no chances. On 19 minutes, that's Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 0. And really, Aston Villa should have continued and should have taken the lead even further. Multiple opportunities. Ollie Watkins had opportunities to shoot and just couldn't quite get the shot off. Block shots, passes going through. We just couldn't quite get that final touch, that final finish. But it was so encouraging to see. We'd win the ball. It was Kamara and Arna winning the ball. Then releasing the ball quickly to Morgan Rodgers or to Watkins or to McGinn. And them just driving forward. And it was just absolutely fantastic to see. And to be honest, Man City didn't really have an answer to it. We go in at half-time 1-0. The only blot on that first half was Emi Buendia had to go off with an injury, replaced by Jadon Sancho. And in the second half, really, Villa should have gone 2-0 up. A corner comes in, really well-worked corner. John McGinn is completely free, hits the volley, meets the volley with his left foot, and it's a combination of two Man City players that managed to block it just on the line, and it goes clear. Jadon Sancho had a good opportunity, ball down the left-hand side. beats Mateus Nunes, all ends up, hits the shot, and Donnarumma spills it, hits it again, and Donnarumma manages to save it. And then we came under a bit of pressure from Man City. Yes, they had a lot of territory. Yes, they had a lot of ball, but still, they couldn't really get anything going. All the stats were saying, one shot, one header, nothing. They hardly had any 1v1s, and that was a credit to the Aston Villa defence, a credit to the Aston Villa midfield for shutting all the angles down. Phil Foden was having to drop deeper and deeper and deeper for the ball because he just wasn't getting any joy. Bernardo Silva having to drop deeper for the ball. Jeremy Doku, that brought him on to go against Matty Cash. Matty Cash absolutely shut him down again. And as I said before with Cash, the 1v1 defending, give him a specific task to do. He is fantastic. You look at the movement of his feet, the way that his body position was, it was perfect defending, matching the feet movement of the striker, of the wide player, keeping his eye on the ball every time, and he'd get a block on it, he'd win the ball, he'd put the ball out of play. Just a brilliant fullback performance. And on the other side from Luca Dean as well, because they've got good forward players on the other side as well. Oscar Bob absolutely shut him out. And then Serginho, they put him on the other side and he shut him out as well. And then Ian Matson came on towards the end. But so many great performances. I have to highlight a couple. I thought Watkins led the line really well. Didn't get his goal. A couple of times he's snatching at efforts and maybe not quite getting the touch on, but I thought he led the line really well. I thought Boubacar Kamara was fantastic in midfield, just marshalling, driving forward. One or two little passes that went astray, but reading the game so well. As I said, the fullbacks Cash and Luca Dean, just absolutely brilliant in there. John McGinn driving forward, had a great battle with Gvardiol and almost just took him out the game. He didn't want to go near him towards the end. Just a brilliant performance from John McGinn. Pau Torres, brilliant again. His passing, his calmness, the way that now he's competing, the clearance that he put in when the ball come across and he hit his foot and went over, and the way he celebrated, that just shows the character and shows how much they wanted that win. But the two main players for me, Ezri Konsa, again, what a leader he is. What a leader he's proven to be. The way he reads the game, the way he gets back into position, the way that he slides in just at the right time, and the way that he can carry the ball out now, and just his leadership, the heading, every single time the ball went in the box, he was there, or the other player was there who has to be the man of the match. And he didn't start the game for the first 4 or 5 minutes. I was thinking, is he going to have another one of these type of games? But as the game went on, this guy just grew and grew and grew, and he was an absolute monster in that midfield. And this is exactly why we signed him. Amadou Onana, what a performance. Everything he did was brilliant. His passing was good. His driving the ball was good. His longer passes, his switch of play was good. His tackling was brilliant. His positioning was fantastic. The way he put his body on the line, his blocks were brilliant. That was a 10 out of 10 midfield performance from Amadou Onana. Just absolutely fantastic. And the substitutes that came on, I thought Sancho did okay. Faded a little bit as it went on. I thought Marlon did his job really well. I thought Gesson did his job really well. And obviously the Matson as well came on and did a good job as well. So just from every single player contributed, and you have to have that time. And it wasn't for the lack of trying that Man City couldn't get through. It wasn't that they had a particular off day. It was just that Villa shut everything they tried to do down. Erling Haaland, hardly a touch all game. Phil Foden, as I say, having to drop deeper and deeper. Bernardo Silva not having an impact in the game. And the substitutes that they brought on, they tried everything and they couldn't get through. It was a brilliant performance from Villa. It deserved more goals. That could have been a 2-0 or a 3-0 and no one would have said anything because, as I say, it was just a perfect performance. I don't think there's anything else to say about it. It was just fantastic. 4 wins in a row in the Premier League now. Takes us into 7th position as it stands. And everything, I know it was a poor performance or a poor sort of end to the game against Go Ahead Eagles and lots of changes that Unai Emery made, but he's been vindicated now with that game and that performance. And we said it in the match preview. You put in a bit of a stinker against Go Ahead Eagles and you go and beat Manchester City. And it's exactly what they've done. And it's brilliant to get to now have those 6 points from Tottenham and from Manchester City, and with Liverpool and Bournemouth to come. If we can get even one win out of those 2 games, 9 points from the 4 games is a brilliant return. But if we can, why can't we go and beat Liverpool? Why can't we go and beat Liverpool? They're on horrendous form at the moment. Absolutely horrendous performance against Brentford. So why can't we go there with the confidence that we can get a result? We've got 4 Premier League wins in a row. We've got a clean sheet today. They're off the back of, I think it's 4 Premier League losses in a row. So why can't we go there and beat them? You let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to get everyone's thoughts in the comments. Who was your man of the match? Your thoughts on the performance and your thoughts going into next week against Liverpool. I'll be back with a full match reaction with the boys, probably Monday night. Fans Forum on Tuesday. I think we've got Gareth back as well for Talking Tactics. So loads and loads of shows to come. I was feeling a little bit under the weather for the watch along today, but what a performance to brighten up my spirits. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.